Girl, what? You've been living on whose island for the last 6 months? Hey y'all, Jazmyne Danielle, and I got some stories to tell. So welcome to this series of Girl, What? You've been living on whose island for the last 6 months? Stay tuned, check out the channel. We're dropping all the deets. The one dope opportunity that I want to share with you is Dream, Daring to Reimagine Education and Myself, is hosting its second annual benefit gala. And it is Havana Nights themed. Yo, we are gonna have a dandy good time on December 13th, 7:30, Tysons, Virginia. If you don't have a ticket, please get your ticket. And it's gonna be a night of fun, yes, but it's gonna be a purposeful night of fun. Angelita and I have really been taking some time to reconsider education, right? Like we put in our years of public service and we recognize where some things aren't quite working. We recognize where the system that we have is not going to be what carries us through the future. And so we've been working to create the opportunities that we believe are instrumental for the future. So if you're a champion for kids and doing what's best for them, doing what's right for them, and making sure that the kids, and the kids' grandkids, that's a few generations worth, are prepared for what's to come because society is changing, the future is shifting. Please be there and reimagine education with us. We'll see you December 13th. Okay, so a second opportunity that I want to share with you is reset and refocus. This is a time in which we are going to be reflecting on where we are presently, evaluating different aspects of wellness, and then from there, setting intentions moving into the new year. Not only setting intentions, but setting those actionables that are going to help us to meet those intentions. So if you are looking to have a group of women that are purpose driven, intentional, supportive, encouraging, you're looking for that type of community while you're building, you should join us, right? We're not working towards the same goals. We might, which would be even better, right? Like that's dope. But what we're here for is that community piece, right? Like when you win, I win. So join me December 29th for reset and refocus. And we're going to have those intentions clear before we go into the new year so that when that ball drops, you're ready to hit the ground running. See you then. Okay, so the moment that you've been waiting for, story time. Let's get it. How did I get to this island? Okay, so it might seem like it was a little irrational, like out of the blue, just you just kind of appeared on an island. Well, I hate to inform you that it didn't quite happen that way. It was very much a work in progress. I just also learned that I need to move in silence because not everything is meant for everyone. And when you start to share things that aren't meant for others, that's when unfruitful thoughts begin to plant. And that wasn't helpful for me. So I had to move a little differently. So let's time travel a little bit. You ready? Seatbelts, everyone. Okay, so New Year's Eve 2023. I wanted to do something different. And what was that difference? I wanted to spend New Year's on the beach. I had done the whole house parties, drinking, all of the New Year's shenanigans, church. And that's just not what I wanted for myself. I wanted to be with nature. And I was perfectly content doing that by myself. And then I shared it with two friends, Robert and Angelita. And guess what? They were like, we want to be there too. And they were. The best part of it all, I didn't even have to drive. Shout out to Robert on the driving. Okay, so we went to Ocean City for the night and literally like had a little party on the beach. Had the music, um, there were some beverages, some great conversation, some smoking, and don't forget the winter clothes because we weren't on the island yet. We were in Ocean City, Maryland, bro, and it was like 30 degrees. Cold, cold, cold. And we stayed out there all evening. We stayed out there all evening until it was like, it's very, very cold. It's very, very gusty. Haven't had dinner yet. Should probably go solve that. So went, solved that. And the plan was for the nightcap to play some games, right? Love playing games. To play some games and create a grown and sexy vibe. Well, what does that mean? Whatever clothes, more so jammies, that make you feel sexy, put them on, right? Like this is for you. And so I was getting changed into my nightgown, yada, yada, yada. And next thing you know, Happy New Year's goes across the screen. And I'm like, what freaking time is it, bro? Like, we just got inside, just ate dinner. Like, what time is it? I thought we had plenty of time before that happened. And so, what we discovered is San Juan was celebrating their New Year's. It was 11 o'clock, but they don't celebrate or they don't acknowledge daylight savings time. So their New Year's was an hour earlier from the midnight that I was anticipating, which I didn't even know that. That's when I discovered that. And it was that night, watching that unexpectedly happen, where it felt like a seed was planted. And I just looked at the TV and was like, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. And like that, I'm going to be there was deeper than to celebrate a New Year's because low key, I'm looking at this and it like was kind of reminding me of New York City where there's like people everywhere and just so crowded when that New Year's happens. And like that sounds absolutely terrible. I want no parts in that. I'd love to watch it from afar, but like all those people, heck no. No, thank you. Um, so that was the night that it was planted that I would be in Puerto Rico. And what's beautiful is that a year and a half after that, if that was New Year's 2023, May of 2025 is when I hopped on that one-way flight with my luggage. I had two checked bags and my personal bag and my carry-on bag. That's what I brought with me to begin that relocation. On another story time, we'll talk about what went down in that year and a half before the official leap happened. But if I summarize, like, how'd you get there? It was put on my heart to be here. It was put on my heart to be here, and here we are. Welcome to paradise. First of all, gas. Why do I gotta go inside the gas station every time I want to buy some gas? Like I don't understand. If I have my card, like why can't I just put it in the machine right here? Oh, these are like antiquated machines. So you mean every time I want gas, whether I'm paying cash or card, I have to go inside. And not only that, but you measure in liters. So here I am thinking that it's about to be extra cheap, but I don't all the way know how much a liter is in comparison to gallons. I'm just playing. We need 4 of those to make a gallon. Wait, what? I gotta multiply that number by 4? So that 0.79, and that's 79 cents. Looked great until I had to multiply it by 4. 9, 4, 6, 28, 29, 30, 31. 316 a gallon? Yo, what's gas like in the States? Let me know. Let me know. And then, like, low key, they really be making you work for this gas. So you mean I had to do math to figure out what I was gonna pay and make sure I got the right amount. But not only that, I had to go inside to do the transaction to get it. But you mean to tell me that the pump doesn't have a rest? So now I got to use my muscles and hold it here the whole time? You know how slow them things go? And then when it knows that your total is about to creep up for that last dollar, it's like boop, 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 just taking its sweet old time. Okay, so gas. That's been one adjustment since moving to the island. A second adjustment. Trash. What? Like you would think that trash is a universal language. Assume not. Assume nothing is universal. So, first of all, the trash man comes at disrespectful ass times. I've also learned that it's not everywhere like that. It just happens to be the time in which he comes to my neighborhood that it's like that. That man comes through. I think it's a man. Thursday morning between 1:30 and 2 a.m. So the first couple times I'm asleep and all I hear is I'm like, yo, what's going on? And then you hear all this because you know they're doing all the dumping. Now I live in a very quiet, safe neighborhood. And on the other side of the tree line, there's a small driveway. And at the bottom of that driveway is where the trash is picked up at. So low key, he's really close. So it's really loud. It only took me a few months to get used to trash being picked up at 2 a.m. Sometimes, like you're going to bed and the trash man is coming through. But one thing they not gonna do is if the holiday is on Thursday, they are not coming early. Your trash is just gonna be stacked up. Just know. The second thing with trash that I've had to adjust to is how to freaking dispose of it. Never did I ever think that I would have to be so strategic about what I do with my trash. Okay, so let me tell you about it. I had a little trash can in the kitchen because who doesn't have a little trash can in the kitchen? And I even had one with a lid. It's one of those lids that, it just swings back and forth, swingity, swing, swing, swing. And I made a meal and whatever trash I had accumulated from that meal, well, what did I do with it? I naturally put it in the trash can. And it's only like a 10-gallon trash can. So we're not accumulating huge amounts of trash before it goes outside. Well, the next day, I came back and I went to go put something inside the little swingy thing. And next thing you know, I'm attacked by the gnats. They were everywhere. So then I learned, oh, so somehow the critters can sniff out things and they're going to go and enjoy them. And they're going to make families in there that want to take over this space. So let me find a new way so that the things that they would want are not available to them. So since I now keep a Ziploc bag or a grocery bag in the freezer, and when I have things that have like food on them or it actually is food, it goes in the freezer bag. And then when it's time to take out the trash with everything else, then it will go out. But I've learned that if I try to put anything in that bag and it's not going out immediately, the critters are going to let me know that they found it and I didn't dispose of it properly. Who would have known? Who would have known that trash would be something that I'm adjusting to? Okay, last thing. And this might be the longest talk. This is the longest talking point of all. The last thing I've had to adjust to, which it hasn't even been that challenging, but I learn new things all the time. Driving on an island it's its own thing, right? Like Just like driving in a metropolitan city. It is its own thing. Them folks that drive in the sticks drive different than the folks that drive in the suburbs, who drive different than the folks that live in the city center. Right? Okay, get that. I got it. Good. But one thing I've learned out here is that the signs, they're suggestions, i.e., the speed limit sign. Bro, don't nobody honor the speed limit sign. As long as the traffic is flowing, keep flowing. And to that point, not only is it speed limit signs that we're overlooking, it's even like stop signs. This morning, I'm at a stop sign and there's two lanes. One lane is going to go right, the other lane's going to go left. I'm going left. Who's on my right hand side? A cop. And I'm like, ooh, let me not do the rolling stop here because I might, get in trouble for not following the law. And I don't want to get in trouble, even though that's just the way that things are. And what does he do? He does his rolling stop. I'm telling you, as long as traffic can continue flowing, it's going to flow. You think that you have a stop sign, but if they can continue with traffic flowing without yielding to that stop sign, that's what's going to happen. So the signs here, they're suggestions. I mean, yes, do your due diligence to not wow out. I mean, no, I don't want to say we. No, I am not doing 100 on the highway. Yet the motorcycles, they be ripping and running that 100, and it looks like they're having a damn good time. Yeah, it's times, when you gotta stop at that stop sign just because it's a lot of traffic going on here. But for the most part, no, we not stopping, honey. Okay, and lastly, something I've had to adjust to is this whole like after a certain hour we don't listen to the lights. I guess once upon a time things weren't as safe as they are now. And so to mitigate your car getting jacked after a certain hour, which I believe it was midnight, it might be 11 p.m., but don't quote me. You didn't have to wait at red lights. You had to stop before proceeding, for safety reasons. Um, but you don't got to stop. And so like now it's like, okay, it's after midnight. Do I stop? Do I go? I don't know. I thought I was supposed to wait until it's in the green because green means go, but like, no. I just dropped bars. But what I did learn is that you can't just blow through them. So, like, no, you don't have to stop and wait for it to turn green after a certain hour before proceeding. However, if you decide to just blow through that light without stopping, you will get a ticket. And I hear that that is a pricey ticket, like $500. So don't do that. Do not do that. Thanks for joining me. These are three things that I've had to adjust to since being on the island. And that has been all things gas, all things trash, and all things driving. Stay tuned. Yo, let me tell you about an adventure. Woo. Um, but before I get to the adventure, let me tell you how I pushed myself to grow a little bit. One thing I didn't know how to do is like swim. And when I say that, like I've never like had never taken classes before. I'd never been in a position to where I had to utilize more than my height to navigate water. So I'm like, huh, this is like a life skill. I should probably learn how to do this. So then what did I do? I signed up for some swimming classes at the rec center and and practiced those swimming skills, right? Like floating on my back, floating on my stomach. Um, we tried to do this whole frog kick thing. That was doing too much. That one wasn't for me. Treading water. Low key, I didn't realize how draining that was, but it is what it is. Okay, so like I learned those skills. Took that class. It was what, 6 weeks, a month, 2 months, a little fuzzy. Let's fast forward, August comes, and now is my first opportunity that I'm presented to put these skills to use. And some friends had invited me on a catamaran. We were having a boat day. And yeah, I could have stayed on the boat the whole time or hop into this beautiful water. But like, I'm terrified. I'm terrified. And so I had one friend that just kind of like wanted to push me in. Asshole. Like, what? You don't like, I get that you're confident here, but clearly I'm not confident here. Wanting to just push me in when I'm already fearful, bro. I have a finger for you. And there was another friend who understood. He had empathy for my challenge, understanding that this is not something that I had done before, and was just willing to be in close proximity as I lowered myself into the water. So I lowered myself into the water, and then I swam over to this it was like a net, and you could sit on the inside, so that like you were contained. So then I got in there and I'm chilling, safe. But then I was feeling like, ooh, I got this. I can do this. So I hop out and I'm like leaning on the edge. I'm like fluttering, kicking, woo, woo. And then there was another moment where I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna hold anything. I'm not gonna hold anything. I'm gonna float here. So I had a few opportunities where I was able to just like practice floating, treading water, before continuing on. So it was quite scary because I had never been in water that was deep, and it looked so clear, it looked so beautiful. They're like, oh, you can see the bottom, and I'm like, bro, seeing the bottom and touching the bottom is not the same thing. We're in water that's like 10 feet tall. Bro, I'm 5'5". You can put two of me, 1, 2 in here. By the end, I felt pretty comfortable. So much so that like I was like, when the next opportunity comes, I'm gonna be ready to jump in there. And I have to come back to report, honestly, that I was presented with that next opportunity on the catamaran, but I did not seize the opportunity to jump in there. I was ready to, and this was also like the week before Hurricane Melissa went and destroyed Jamaica. And so you don't realize how those waves impact and affect other places, even though the storm is going somewhere else. The islands, man. Welcome to the island. And so the waves were rough. So much so that like that safe contained net that I talked about, I didn't even want to be in there because low-key it felt like I was getting my ass beat by the waves, and I'm just trying to sit and chill. Yeah, I'm going back to the boat because this isn't fun. It's all over the place. Who's doing that? Okay, so I thought I was gonna jump in, and like maybe that would have been a great time to practice like life or death training. Another opportunity will present itself. That one was just not the one. But shout out to working through that. Shout out to working through that. I'll continue practicing my swimming. Hey, I mean, I guess I need to. Literally, life. It's a survival skill. When you're on an island, like you have to know how to swim. What if the whole island goes under? Swimming is the only way. Yo, stay tuned. We'll stay tuned. Okay, so everything I do it with love. And so I want to share some opportunities in which you can spread your love. First of all, being with us at the gala, which I mentioned earlier, is one way in which you can show some love. And if you can't make it, yo, share that with someone else. Uh, Allocate your resources to help further that mission. And those resources might be financial. they might be human, right? Like there might actually be something where you can have your hands in the pot doing. So one way that you can show love is by supporting the benefit gala on December 13th. A second way that you can show love is send me mail. Okay. Uh, please send me mail. I'm on this island. It's just me. And I'm meeting people, and it's like some people that you meet begin to become your friends, your family, but it's just me. I'm starting fresh. And it's a breath of fresh air. It's nice when I check my mail and there's something in there from a familiar face. So if you would like to be a familiar face that sends me an unexpected smile, let me drop you my address. P.O. Box 832, Luquillo, Luquillo, Puerto Rico 00773. I only check my mailbox once a week, maybe. Why? Because I don't receive a lot of mail, but maybe if I did, I might be there more often. So one way you can show love, send me a package, send me a letter, send me a message, send me a smile. Appreciate you. And a final way that you can show some love is by chipping away at my Amazon list, my Amazon home registry. Okay, so I've been out here for 6.5 months, and I've acquired some things. Remember, I started fresh, right? Like I only came with what was in my luggage, which was mainly my clothes, some books, some stuff for the kitchen. I'm grateful that I was able to secure housing that was already furnished, so I wasn't having to start at ground zero. And there are just some things that I don't have because one, they're only available stateside, or two, there are just a lot of things that I need and I can't buy everything at once, right? Like resources are not endless. So one thing that I would greatly love to have are the gardening the self-watering gardening bulbs. Self-watering gardening bulbs. Okay, that's a mouthful. Um, I've started gardening, right? And I'm trying with um I got two celeries that are going. We've got some palms, a dragon fruit, some other things. I don't know what they're called. And I don't always know when to water them, right? Like, I don't want to water them too much and I don't want to water them too little. But the beauty of the bulbs is that you put the water on there, and then when the roots start talking, the water naturally releases. And when the bulb is empty, then I know that it's time to refill it. So it feeds itself when it needs it. That is one thing that I would greatly appreciate right now and really help to elevate my garden because, honey, I am going to transform as many kitchen scraps as I can in my garden. We're already working with lemon and date seeds and onion. I mentioned celery, beets to get beet greens, garlic, turmeric. Yeah, the garden is growing. The garden is growing. So those gardening bulbs would be super, super helpful. And then I also mentioned that like sometimes there are things that like I just don't have because they're not available. And one thing that I miss, and it's kind of heartbreaking that it's not here, is all things Dr. Bronner's. I had what I thought I had done was like simplified my life, and where when I took a shower, I used Dr. Bronner soap to wash my hair, to wash my face, to wash my body, to wash my hands, right? Like I use Dr. Bronner's for everything. And then I just needed conditioner. They don't sell Dr. Bronner's out here. Even when it comes down to chapstick, Dr. Bronner's chapstick, love it, especially the peppermint one, especially the peppermint one. They even have where it's like Sal Suds, a variation of Dr. Bronner's, to where you can use that concentrated blend for your cleaning products. something I would really appreciate is some Dr. Browners. I miss Dr. Browners, right? The lavender, the citrus, eucalyptus. Those are some of my favorite scents. But I've had to adjust. Let me tell you, the first time I went to the Walmart, and they didn't have it. I'm like, well, why not? Like there's no reason. Um, so please, if you'd like to show love, those are two ways that you could show love. I love opening packages and recording them because my reactions are quite funny, even when I know what's inside. So again, appreciate you. Thanks for showing love.